This is Yosemite Waterfalls, descending 2,430 feet. Yosemite Waterfalls is the highest in North America and the second highest in the world. It consists of three sections: upper fall, middle cascades, and a lower fall. The water volume of Yosemite Falls reaches its peak in spring, which is when we are in right now. Ice Age glaciers carved and plucked rock from Yosemite Valley's granite walls. As the glaciers receded, hanging valleys were left behind. The streams from these ancient valleys now flow over waterfalls. Yosemite Falls is one of the most recognizable geological features in Yosemite. It can be seen from numerous places around the valley. Yosemite Creek is the source of Yosemite Falls and is fed by melting snow. At its peak volume in late spring, 2,400 gallons per second flow over the lip of the upper fall. The sound of thundering water can be heard throughout the valley in spring and early summer. Yosemite was discovered during the frenzy of California gold rush, a time when America was being consumed by burning desire to be rich. As hundreds and thousands of people were drawn to California in search of gold in mid-19th century, there was conflict between settlers and local Indians. The conflict became a part of the California Indian Wars. On March 25, 1851, a local militia known as the Mariposa Battalion was dispatched deep into the Sierra foothills in search of Native American tribal leaders involved in recent raids on American settlements. They stumbled upon an area which is known today as Yosemite Valley. They were stunned by what they saw. They stood there and looked upon waterfalls descending thousands of feet from mountains. The extraordinary beauty and grandeur moved these men to tears. Inspired by the Indian warriors they had fought, a physician with the battalion, Lafayette Bonnell, named the place Yosemite, an Indian word meaning the people who should be feared. The Mariposa Battalion were the first European Americans to enter Yosemite Valley. Before Yosemite was unveiled to the civilized world, it had been inhabited by Indians for 7,000 years. This is Mariposa Grove, the largest grove of giant sequoias in Yosemite National Park. Giant sequoias belong to the coniferous tree species, standing on the west slope of Sierra Nevada mountain range. They are the largest trees in the world. In fact, 2 giant sequoias in this grove are among the 30 largest trees in the world. Although giant sequoias are known for their ability to adapt to nature, they are susceptible to forest fires. Due to the destructions of the fires, giant sequoias are considered as endangered species, with only 80,000 trees remaining on Earth. This forest is legendary and even sacred to those who have experienced its majesty. In 1864, during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Yosemite Grant Act, placing the Mariposa Grove and the Yosemite Valley under state protection. Walking in the midst of one of Yosemite's natural and cultural treasures, and among the world's most massive living organisms, estimated to be between 1,800 and 2,800 years. The trees in this grove have stood strong for centuries. Think of the human history these trees have witnessed over the last few thousand years. Through harsh Sierra seasons, severe fires, floods, and droughts, these ancient giants have remained ever resilient and awe-inspiring. Four-Mile Trail is a strenuous hike in Yosemite, featuring numerous switchbacks and a large elevation gain, but visitors will be rewarded with spectacular views along the way. The 4-Mile Trail hike is like a best Yosemite hike. Built in 1872 as a $1 toll road, the 4-Mile Trail connects the two most popular locations in the park, the Yosemite Valley and Glacier Point. The distance has since increased to 4.8 miles due to rerouting. Along the way up the switchbacks of this engineering marvel, you are rewarded with turn after turn of breathtaking views of the Yosemite Valley. You will see El Capitan, Yosemite Falls, Half Dome, and everything in between. And if you hike up, you are rewarded with a rest at Glacier Point, probably the most stunning vista in the park. Imagine the stunning scenery and the magnificent natural features of Yosemite National Park. Marvel at the panoramic view of the glacier-carved valley. Applaud the thunder of springtime ice and the melting snow cascading over Yosemite Falls. Feel mesmerized by the mist rising off the Merced River. Retire from the hot sun to walk among the shadow of giant sequoias in Mariposa Grove. As the 19th century unfolded, Americans found spiritual value in wilderness, woven into the feelings of national identity. In 1890, as Yosemite was designated second national park in the U.S. history, Yosemite Valley became a symbol of manifest destiny. This monumental western scenery became an iconic image for artists, philosophers, and political leaders who sought to establish the idea that America was a nature's nation. Its cultural independence from Europe and the divine sanction of American civilization in the world.